everybody, what is up? My name is AsterKatt, and welcome back to Zero Escape 999. Oh boy. Yeah, lots happened last time. It's been quite a little bit since I've played. I'm recording this on the day that I was supposed to be posting it. Whoops. But I was told that we have a decent amount to go because this should be our last ending, and I would rather kind of get the finale into one video, and I didn't have time to record it this week. So we're just gonna go ahead and do it now. And things have been going really, really great. I'll throw some screenshots up of my reaction over the past week in the Discord. I don't think I ever showed you guys my notes on my favorite character. I told you guys my character rankings. I don't think I ever showed you them. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. We're gonna continue on. I feel like, once again, it's one of those things where I'm like, I feel like I had things to say, and now I'm like, I kind of just want to get into it. Oh, people did tell me, I'm gonna press continue so I don't get jump scared, that there was some content in that Santa's dialogue in the Steam engine room had changed, and that there was a lot to go through with getting it, and that it wasn't really worth it, not that it wasn't really worth it, that it would be a lot of work, and if I didn't want to do it, they understood, which to that, of course, I said, I don't care how much work it is, I'm going to get there. So before recording today, I sat down and I made sure to get back to here, that way we can get the new Santa dialogue. So, oh my gosh, wait, there was one thing I wanted to go over with Ace specifically. And the thing that I think made me so viscerally upset is that even in my head for so long, I tried to justify it. And I told my friend who I was talking to about this, that I was like, I could have justified so many of the things he did. Like, I literally, I could have not necessarily excused it, but I could have written it off. If he didn't want to do what he had done in the past, and he had killed Snake because of it, because he didn't want it to be found out. And if he was driven by guilt, but he's not driven by guilt. He's driven by his own selfish desire to not die, when he doesn't even consider how hypocritical that is, considering what he put so many people through. And the fact that that Snake and Clover would have been so young is disgusting and horrible, and I want him to die 1,000 deaths. So. Oh, hi, June.
Santa?
Now, I'm curious about this, because I mentioned before, we didn't get to see this picture. Santa was sitting on the stairs. He was, however, holding something in his right hand and staring at it with a strange expression. Junpei and June slowed down and finally stopped in front of him.
What are you looking at?
Santa answered without looking up, his voice quiet.
It's a photo. It's my sister.
Okay.
Sister? Santa, you've got a sister?
Santa simply nodded.
Kid was cute as a button.
June cocked her head confused.
She was only about an inch tall then?
Santa glared at her.
Oh, sorry. I guess an inch is a little large for a button. Probably more like a half inch.
June, sweetheart. Santa didn't smile or laugh.
Sorry.
Why are you looking at it?
He simply turned back to his picture and spoke.
I was her Santa Claus.
Wait, what?
I like that there actually is a reason for his name, because as much as I adore him, Santa is a really stupid name to have picked. The sudden revelation took Junpei by surprise. He had no idea what Santa meant. He glanced at June, who shook her head. She didn't know either.
We didn't have parents. They bought it in an accident when we were still kids.
Oh!
So I had to be like her dad. And that meant that I bought her Christmas presents every year. On Christmas Eve, I'd leave the present next to her pillow. And the next morning, she'd come running into my room with this big smile. Look, Santa left me a present. He got me that doll I really wanted. I'm so glad he got my letter. She was always so excited. I was the one who told her to write those letters. I'd say, write down something you want and mail it to Santa. The address I gave her was somewhere in Northern Europe that doesn't exist. Anyway, she'd write the letter and stamp it and send it out. And then a few days later, it'd show up back in our mailbox marked address unknown. I'd open the letters before she figured out they'd been sent back. Once I had the letter, I'd go around to a couple stores with some money I'd saved up over the year and buy her the stuff she'd asked for.
Oh, Santa.
It took a lot of saving, but I managed to buy her presents every year.
Huh.
Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say. June looked down, uncomfortable. The wall next to him suddenly groaned. Either he hadn't heard the sound or didn't care. Santa kept talking.
But one year, her letter was different. She didn't write a list of toys she wanted or anything like that. Instead, it said, I don't want any presents this year. Instead, I want you to make my wish come true. My wish is that we'll be happy like this for a really, really long time. That was it. Nothing else. But I couldn't make that wish come true. Some Santa I am.
Santa. Santa looked sad. Junpei had never seen him look sad before. He wasn't sure he liked it. Junpei decided it was probably best not to ask Santa any more questions.
What happened?
June glanced up at Santa quickly as she spoke. He answered, but only with an effort.
She died. She was killed 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was nothing Junpei could say. His heart felt like a great lump of lead. June bit her lip and looked away. Her face was pale.
All right, let's go.
Did she? I'm so suspicious and curious. We still don't know I want to know what's up with June's fevers. That's another thing. Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanor gone. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking them 2 at a time. That was really interesting.
Huh?
Oh, you're finally back.
Sorry we took so
What was he doing in that
Let's
time?
go.
Was he just standing there? Cool. Looks like we can just skip from here. And we should be good. Yeah, we are not. I will never do the Pushmaster 5000 again. I also learned that we could, apparently only 2 endings are necessary to quote unquote beat this game, to get the, I guess, true ending, whatever ending we're doing last, this one, and not even to get the true, only 1 ending you have to get in order to unlock the coffin ending. So I thought that was really interesting. I also think, and I love the way I played it. I love the way I got to this point. However, it did make things significantly worse. And a couple people in the comments were like, I've never seen somebody get this so late in the game. And I think that is quite evil and horrible for me, because that meant I had all these routes to get connected to Ace and frickin' that. So yeah. Anyways, there actually is one more thing I want to do before we do that. And that is a specific thing. Ooh, have we done this? I don't know if we've done this, actually. I don't think I've ever been back here. The actual Titanic.
The actual Titanic?
The actual Titanic? You mean it, like, slipped through time and ended up here? Before the ship sunk on April 14th, 1912?
Huh? What the hell are you smoking?
Huh? Did I get it wrong?
Junpei grinned and shook his head.
No, that's not, I mean, come on. I mean, slipped through time? Seriously? I was talking about the controversy surrounding the Titanic.
Controversy? What do you mean?
Haven't you heard of it? It's pretty famous, you know? The Titanic had a sister ship that was essentially identical. It was called the Olympic.
Oh, yes, I have heard of that. I think I heard it was troubled by a lot of problems, and the company that owned it didn't know what to do with it, right? So they made the Olympic up to look just like the brand new Titanic.
That's right. They also took out a huge insurance policy on it before it set sail.
Huh.
That would mean that the real Titanic never sank.
Yeah, the ships got swapped. The real Titanic was renamed the Olympic in secret. They used it as a passenger ship for more than 20 years.
Hey, wait a minute. Wouldn't that mean it retired in 1935?
Huh? Well, yeah, I guess sometime around then, yeah.
Well, what happened to it after that?
I don't
I
know.
heard it was dismantled.
Dismantled. Then it doesn't matter, does it? Whichever boat the real Titanic was, it doesn't exist anymore.
That would be the case, yes.
It was either retired and dismantled,
Oops, sorry.
or sunk in the Atlantic by the curse.
By the
But
curse.
then that would mean that this ship is...
Wait, what did you just say?
Huh?
Sank in the Atlantic because of what?
The curse.
What do you mean, a curse?
A curse is a curse. This one is the curse of the Egyptian mummy.
Okay, cool. And we got this. Plate on a shelf.
Hey, Junpei, you got a minute?
Oh.
Here, take this.
What happens if I don't? Hang on, I'm gonna...
Thanks, but no thanks. It's kind of weird to be getting presents from another dude, you know?
Junpei. You're the one with the bisexual shoes on, okay? Santa's eyebrows went up. Apparently he hadn't thought of that.
Well, I guess you do have a point. I won't force it on you. Sure you don't want it?
Actually, I'll take it. If Santa wanted him to have it that much, Junpei couldn't see any harm in taking it.
I guess I'll take it.
Jeez, just make up your mind, all right?
Before Junpei could change his mind again, Santa shoved the bookmark into his hand. You mean like the stock market?
You mean like the stock market?
Nah, that's not what I mean. Why the hell would you think that? I mean, yeah, I do stocks too, but...
This last statement, more or less thrown away by Santa, caught Junpei very much by surprise.
You? A stockbroker?
Yeah, got a problem with that?
No, you don't look like the type.
What Junpei didn't say, of course, was that he didn't think Santa looked smart enough to be a stockbroker. I love them so much. They still have one of my favorite dynamics in the entire game.
Man, that stuff's just like gambling, you know? All you gotta do is bet on the winning horse. Nothing that hard about it.
You sure sound pretty confident. So, are you betting on winning horses?
Of course I am. You remember a couple years back when the stock for Cradle Pharmaceuticals shot through the roof? Stacked a few bills over that, if I do say so myself.
Uh-huh.
Was all Junpei could think of. He never even heard of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Fortunately, he was saved quickly from further embarrassment.
Hey, how long are you gonna stand around wasting time? Stop screwing around.
The voice screaming at them from the other room was unmistakably Lotus's. Junpei and Santa looked at each other.
The lady has spoken.
Santa sighed.
We better get back to work before we really piss her off. I don't want her beating me up.
With that, Santa walked off slowly.
Hey, wait! We weren't done!
He started after Santa, intended to catch him, but Lotus appeared from the next room, blocking his path. Her boss had suggested she was not about to let him pass. There was nothing for it. He had lost.
Okay, I'll get back to work. Damn it.
Her glare suggested any other choice would not have ended pleasantly for him. Junpei mumbled to himself under his breath and went back to his search. Okay, cool. And then we can also do picture of a dog. So we can pick some of the wrong answers here. So I was told I was not allowed to say I'd finished this game if I didn't get this dialogue. I don't know why it didn't even cross my mind. I just figured that was something I didn't know what it was, and that might be the case. I'll Google it after if it is something. Funyarinpa.
Funyarinpa. See? I mean, this totally looks like one. And here, and here.
Junpei indicated parts of the picture that looked exactly like the other parts. After 3 seconds of silence, Lotus looked at Junpei.
What the hell is a Funyarinpa?
What do you mean? What the hell is a Funyarinpa? You mean you don't know?
Junpei, are you making stuff up?
How the hell would I know?
How could you not know? That's practically blasphemous.
I love him. He is the protagonist ever. That's practically blasphemous.
Oh, say you're sorry. Apologize to the Funyarinpa. Goodness, you are such a rude woman.
Junpei's voice actor might be one of my favorite voice actors ever. Another 3 seconds of awkward silence went by. Lotus opened her mouth as she shook.
Junpei, are you just screwing around? Forget it. I'm just gonna tell you. This is a dog. See? Like...
Okay. A man's face.
A man's face? This is the head, and this is the nose and the mouth.
Junpei indicated parts of the picture that looked exactly like the other parts.
Nope. You're wrong.
Lotus smiled triumphantly.
This is a dog.
Okay, cool. That one was lame.
It's Butterfly.
It's Butterfly.
Cho Butterfly Yusofa. This is the head, and this is the nose and the mouth.
Wait, what? What's a Cho Yusofa?
Wait, you mean you don't know? He's a former pro wrestler and a huge movie star. He was just in this movie called Man Bag. Oh, man, it was so sweet. He was all like, nom, 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 throwing the bag around like a big mouth. Oh. And then like guns and gadgets and stuff would just fly out of it. Damn, just thinking about it gives me chills.
I love him so much. After 3 seconds silence, Lotus looked at Junpei.
You're just screwing with me, aren't you, Junpei? Forget it. I'm just gonna tell you. This is a dog.
Oh my god. Okay.
Koi. See, here's the head and the tail. And this here's the hands and the feet back here. Looks like he's got some wings on his back, too.
Junpei indicated parts of the picture that looked exactly like the other parts.
I really don't think that's how koi looks.
I was gonna say, what do you mean?
Junpei, are you just screwing around? Forget it. I'm just gonna. This
Oh
is a
my
dog.
god. Oh. Okay, one more. Then we'll actually get to the point. I'm not scared. Okay. A small boat floating in a lake.
A small boat floating in a lake? That's the front of the boat, and then there's the oars sticking out.
Junpei indicated parts of the picture looked exactly like the other parts.
Nope. You're wrong.
Okay, no.
This is a dog. See?
That one was
Like
fine.
this.
All right, cool. Then it looks like this one we're good at. Ooh, no, but we have more dialogue in here. Yes, I have now.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. There was a novel that had a bunch of stuff in it that described the sinking of the Titanic before it actually sank.
Yeah, that's the one. The title of the novel is Futility. It was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But
I know. I mean, I didn't know the name of the book, but the story was the same, right? It was just like what happened on the Titanic?
yeah,
Well, I heard it was all a hoax.
a hoax.
I heard that the stuff that matched up to the Titanic so well was actually added after it sank. Apparently, the only thing that was the same originally was that a boat ran into an iceberg and sank.
Interesting.
The novel was published in 1898, 14 years before the accident.
Like I said, that was the first print of the book. 14 years later, the author heard about what happened to the Titanic. He figured that was his chance, you know? He just went back and changed some stuff in his novel so that it matched the Titanic exactly.
Surprised by Junpei's response, June seemed rather taken aback.
Really?
Really? There's no such thing as premonitions or any of that stuff.
For a moment, June looked very unhappy, more so than Junpei thought was normal for such a discussion. But it lasted only a moment. With no apparent reason, she suddenly looked up at him alarmed.
But, that wasn't the only book that predicted the Titanic sinking.
It wasn't?
Yep. There were two other similar stories written by a man named William Thomas Stead. Both of them before the accident. One in 1886
Okay.
and one in 1890.
Cool, this one just continues on. Awesome. All right, freezer. Nothing seemed different in there. He wanted out of the freezer now. His patience was wearing
How the
thin.
hell would I know? And how the hell is that gonna help us get out of here? We don't have time for this crap.
But it can turn into a liquid.
Junpei stopped mid-sentence, surprised by June's interjection.
Carbon dioxide turns to liquid if you put it under high enough pressure.
This isn't really a good time for a chat about science.
But I was wondering the same thing.
Wondering what?
Wondering why carbon dioxide doesn't turn into a liquid unless it's under pressure.
Right? It just seems weird. Water's a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees, so why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide? H2O and CO2 are pretty similar.
No, they're not. They're totally different substances. Look, guys, if we keep this up, we're just gonna freeze to death. You good with that? You wanna die talking about sublimation and gases? 'Cause I sure as hell don't.
Reasonably so. He fixed both of them with a
Now
glare.
let's get back to work. Assuming you don't want to end up like a pair of ice sculptures.
Junpei turned around, the problem dealt with.
Oh, but Jumpy,
Or so he thought.
there's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees. I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees.
Ice with a melting point of 96 degrees? You mean there's water that freezes at 96 degrees?
I love it. Doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter. We need to focus on getting out of here first, or we won't be talking much longer.
He did his best to pretend he'd heard nothing and resumed his investigation of the room. Okay, so we need to get the right one there, I bet. Was kind of annoyed. June was nice, but he'd had enough of her ridiculous stories. So all of a sudden, a substance began to crystallize without a seed crystal. That seemed unlikely, no, impossible. In fact, it was utterly ridiculous. Even so, Junpei couldn't
What
help
does
but
that have
ask.
to do with Ice 9?
What she's saying is that it's a
A
lot.
lot like? If water everywhere started freezing, man.
It'd be the end of the world.
Okay, cool. Now those are both unlocked. Here. Disgusting. I don't want to do this. Oh, I really want to pick some of the other options here.
Would it be Ace and Santa? The digital route for... No, they would... Then maybe.
Okay.
Ace... The digital route... Nope. Besides, there's no way in hell June is a murderer. Damn, I need to think
But
it
there
over
is a
again.
way that Ace is.
Would it be June and... I really don't think June is the murderer. But just in case... The digital route for Snake, June, and 7. Of course they wouldn't be... Then how about... Would it be June and Loaded June? the murderer? No, not possible.
Not possible. Who? Go away. I'm playing important games. Okay, so this still ends up in the same spot. Oh, okay. I forgot I shot the floor for a second.
What's the passcode? What am I supposed to do? How can we figure it out? I need something.
I know what you need. The world blinked. Suddenly, there was a voice inside of Junpei's head. Truth had gone, truth had gone, truth. Is this like actually some sort of simulation of some kind? Yeah.
Wait, what? What the hell was that? That voice?
Junpei was utterly and completely baffled.
Huh? What?
What's up?
Seven and Clover ran over to him, but Junpei didn't know what to tell them.
Huh?
If he had told them he heard a voice, they would laugh, or worse, think he was going insane. So all he said was...
Nothing.
He cleared his throat a little too loud and looked pointedly down at his bracelet. There are a pair of small buttons protruding from either side of it. Junpei... Let's see, truth... Right... Truth had gone, truth had gone. So it was right, left... Was it truth? Right, left. Right, left, right, left, right, left. That was it. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. Okay. Junpei checked one last time. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. Huh?
Huh?
Hey, what the hell were those numbers?
Oh my gosh. Are those...
Huh.
Junpei didn't answer. He simply walked straight to the coffin. He knelt down in front of the keypad, running over the numbers in his head so that he wouldn't forget.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Trembling fingers, he punched them in. That was all of them. He punched the E button. There was a moment of complete silence. Then there was the sound of the coffin lid unlatching. Someone sat up out of it.
Huh. No way. What? Why are you...
Oh? Is that you, Clover? I apologize for worrying you.
Snake!
You? Why?
Junpei? And Seven? Is that you? Is everyone else there as well?
Just like Rip Von Winkle? What? Oh. Okay. It follows, it is a short story by the American author Washington Irving, published in 1819. It follows a Dutch-American villager in colonial America named Rip Von Winkle. Huh. He awakes 20 years later to a very changed world, having missed the American Revolution. All right. So it's very much like Snake to simply cut to the heart of the matter and ask.
Jeez.
Junpei and Seven shared a wry smile. Clover's eyes were filled with tears.
You're back!
With a cry of joy, she leapt into Snake's arms. Oh!
Gently now.
Oh. That's so sweet.
My body's still a little weak.
Oh, they're back!
Clover looked like nothing so much as a lost child who had finally found her home. Also, good lord, he is so pale. She cried and cried and cried. Her eyes were red and her nose was running. She hiccuped and gasped as if she were about to begin hyperventilating.
You're back! You're really here!
Her voice was happy, but almost desperate, as if she feared he would disappear again if she stopped talking to him. Tear after tremendous tear rolled its way down her face. Her small arms strained as she clutched Snake's body as tightly as she could. Perhaps she had to convince herself he was real. Perhaps she was worried he would be gone the moment she let go. Perhaps she simply didn't know what else to do.
You're back!
Come now, what's gotten into you? You're acting as though I've returned from the grave.
Not as though. You did. I really thought you were dead.
Huh?
You jerk! Idiot! Idiot! Idiot!
Clover broke into sobs so great she could no longer talk. It was a touching reunion between brother and sister. Even though Junpei knew they had little time and every minute they waited was a minute they wasted, it felt cruel to pull them apart. Junpei and Seven sat down on one of the pews waiting for Clover to calm down before explaining to Snake what had transpired.
I see. I believe I understand things rather well now, thank you.
And we don't have to hide it from
In
him.
the shower room, there is a dead body wearing my clothes.
Yes.
Because of that, you thought that I was dead, correct?
Correct. He had quickly and neatly summarized the events of several hours. Junpei nodded.
You also discovered a corpse in the captain's quarters, and Santa turned on you here, in this room.
Yes.
Do I have it straight?
Well, the dead body in the captain's quarters is a surprise.
Sorry, there wasn't a good time to tell you.
Don't worry about it.
Well then.
Oh! Seven didn't know.
I've got a pretty decent idea of what happened while I was indisposed, but it's still something of a mystery who did all this, and why.
Honestly,
the
yeah.
corpse in the shower room that looked like me, and the corpse in the captain's quarters. Why were they killed in the way they were?
You don't know?
No. Why would I?
The guy in the shower room. We don't know who he is, so let's just call him Mr. X.
Great. I'm glad. Guy X, Mr. X, X-Man. I'm like, we're getting close to the ending, so I'm like, if I'm gonna say anything, I want to make sure. I feel like June and Santa are still the two that I'm like the most suspicious of at this point. Yeah, I'd say June and Santa are the two that I'm most got my eyes on in terms of like being Zero or being involved in all of this.
Anyway, this Mr. X is wearing Snake's clothes, but you're wearing some kind of weird robes. That means someone took your clothes and put them on Mr. X. We need to figure out who that was.
I apologize, but I have no idea who might have done this to me. I only just now woke up.
Yes.
I was unconscious during all the events you just described to me. They must have undressed me and changed my clothes during that time.
Yes.
When were you knocked out?
When we split up to look for the red.
Where did they get you? Do you remember?
It was a small room in one of the hallways on C deck.
Okay.
What happened?
The same thing that happened to every one of us when we were abducted. A canister releasing some sort of gas was thrown into the room.
Very similar. What did that happen at the last ending? Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool.
I believe the gas is some sort of incapacitating agent.
Then that means it was...
Zero.
Looks that way, huh?
There's nothing else I have to tell you.
Okay.
When I woke up, I was in this coffin.
Junpei crossed his arms and thought.
Why? Why did Zero make Mr. X wear Snake's clothes? How would that benefit Zero? I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean? And I have no idea how I got the passcode for the coffin either. Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Where did those words come from? Why did I feel compelled to push the buttons on the bracelet after hearing them?
So we are doing this. Seven had asked him about it while they waited for Clover to finish crying. He had no answer for him then, and he still
All I
didn't.
know is my fingers moved on their own. It was like I did it subconsciously. I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean?
I don't know. His mind was a maelstrom of mysteries, clues, theories, and more mysteries he could barely think.
Also, Snake and Clover had been subjects in a similar experiment 9 years ago.
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger. And someone did actually die. A girl.
Okay, here's like another really, really outlandish theory that I thought like a while ago and I didn't want to voice. What if June is dead? What if June was Santa's sister and is dead? Do I think this is actually the case? Not at all. But that could be tied to her having weird fevers. I don't know if she was frozen, brought back to life, because we talked about that. That hasn't really come up. If they thought she died and she was actually frozen and then revived now, and that's why we haven't like seen her since middle school. Maybe? I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there.
Her name was...
There had been another experiment conducted on this same
Because the
ship
others don't know
years
Akane's
ago,
name.
and a girl had died during it. Morphogenetic field theory. The two murders. Switching clothes. The nonary game.
Whatever strange thing was happening to Junpei himself. The maelstrom in his head spat out words and ideas that disappeared into it almost as soon as he grasped them. But as he struggled through them, Junpei began to realize something. There was something that tied all of them together, and the point connecting the dots.
Zero. He's the ringleader. The person who trapped 9 of us on this sinking ship. Zero should know everything. If we can uncover Zero's identity, all of our questions will be answered.
Who was Zero? Junpei had the beginnings of a theory. He could only test it, or perhaps...
At any rate, we'll have plenty of time to decipher the details later. For now, it is of utmost importance that we escape. Junpei, it was 4:30 the last time you checked the clock, yes? That means we have less than an hour. We must hurry.
Hey, how are we gonna get out of here?
Because we have the numbers
Isn't
read.
that obvious? Through the other number 9 door.
Oh yeah, you're right. With Snake, we can open the door.
Don't tell me you hadn't figured that out.
As they sniped back and forth, Junpei glanced at Snake's left hand. He was wearing a bracelet with a 2 on it.
Come on, you gotta tell me these things.
I, assumed you'd figured it out.
Forget it. Let's just get going.
7 stomped off toward the smaller number 9 door. Clover, Snake, and Junpei followed. 7 quickly laid his hand on the red. An asterisk appeared on the screen. Junpei and the others followed suit and laid their hands on the scanner panel. I'm sorry, it's not funny. Soon there were 4 asterisks on the screen. 7 glanced at them, then laid his hand on the lever of the red.
All right, you guys ready to go?
Yes.
Yep.
God.
Junpei paused for a moment.
Not yet.
Huh?
Before we go in, I'd like to check something.
Okay.
You want to check something?
Yeah, but before I do, 7, could you pull the lever? I want to make sure we can verify with just the 4 of us.
What do you mean? We don't need...
Just do it, all right? But if the door opens, don't go in yet, okay? Please, this is really important. I really need to check this, okay? Work with me here.
Junpei looked directly into 7's eyes. The older man looked back for a moment, then nodded. 7 is so great. Okay, so it does open. 7 pulled down on the lever and then door number 9 creaked open. Then they waited. 6, 7, 8. After 9 seconds, the door closed.
All right, that means the 4 of us can go into door 9.
So, we knew that already. It's obvious.
Obvious. Yeah, you're right. It is. Now, what happens if we add Zero's bracelet?
What?
Zero's bracelet?
It's number 6.
Why don't you take it out, Clover?
For a moment, Clover looked surprised, but she recovered quickly and stuck her tongue out at Junpei.
So you did know I had it. I picked it up because I thought it might be useful sometime.
She reached into one of the pockets of her voluminous jacket and produced a bracelet. Junpei took it from her and turned to 7.
This was on the left hand of the corpse in the captain's quarters. If you look at it, you can see it's got a 0 on the face. Just to make this a little easier to talk about, I'm gonna call the guy we found dead in the captain's quarters, Cap.
Okay. See, when it registered as number 6, I thought that was really suspicious.
And I should be able to open door 9 with just me, Clover, and his bracelet. Though the big question is, if Cap is the mastermind of this game, would he really put one of these bracelets on?
It was Ace and Lotus. Okay.
Anyway, let's just give it a shot. Clover, give me your hand.
Okay.
Now the captain's bracelet. And pull the lever.
The door didn't open. The red display read error.
Now, what does this tell us?
Maybe the bracelet has to be on your wrist in order for it to work?
No, that's impossible. Did you see how the panel showed a 3rd asterisk when I scanned Cap's bracelet? Whether or not it's on your wrist doesn't matter. All you have to do is put the bracelet near the panel for it to register.
7 waved his bracelet in front of the scanner panel. Sure enough, a single asterisk appeared on the red.
Huh. Looks like you're right.
See? So what does that mean? There's only one possibility.
That bracelet isn't the number 0. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Then what number is it?
Let's find out.
Junpei. It would be So if we know it's 6. It would be... Yeah.
Let's try 7, me, and Cap. If this combination opens the door, then Cap's bracelet is number 6.
Hey, it opened! Had the door opened!
What? Why? What does that mean?
Well, 7 and Clover seemed rather shaken as they turned to look at Junpei for answers. The door slid heavily shut. Junpei raised
Isn't
an
it
eyebrow.
obvious? Cap's bracelet is number 6.
But doesn't it say 0?
This isn't a 0. The symbol on here isn't a number 0. It's a letter O.
Oh.
Whoa, wait a minute. I don't get it. I mean, we figured out that Cap's bracelet is 6, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean there are 2 people with 6s?
Before Junpei could answer, Snake spoke up.
There is most likely only one person with a 6.
But I don't get it. What about June?
Well, this is only an educated guess, but I think June's number was never 6 to begin with. Her bracelet was flipped.
See, I was wondering that. But it still doesn't make sense. Because they just went through the door with Santa, Lotus, which would be 12. You add 9 to that, and it doesn't...
In other words, June's real number is...
9.
That seems the most likely.
Then all this numbered door stuff was just a load of crap?
Why would you say that?
Because if June is 9, then the numbers wouldn't match up.
Clover grabbed Junpei's notebook and began to write furiously in
Here,
it.
look.
Junpei leaned over to look at
List
it.
of all the numbered doors June's gone through.
I'll let you know what I'm writing, okay, Snake? And that's everything. I wrote down which door she went into and with whom.
Every single time she went in with Santa. That's the only other... Oh, and Lotus.
And I wrote what all the numbers were. So if you switch 9 in wherever there's a 6, the numbers don't work.
Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This might be a really stupid thought, but you take Santa's 3, you flip that one upside down. That's an E. E in hexadecimal is 15. 15 would be 6. And if that were the case, but then what? Why would it work on the other routes? What other doors has June gone through? I know the game's gonna tell me, but I want to figure this out. I'm curious if that holds true. So we went through, in this path, we went through door 4. When we went through door 5, we went with Snake, who's 2, us, who's 5, and 7, who is 7, which would be 7 plus 7, which equals 14, which equals 5. Cool. Okay, which means, let me get a different color, that June would have gone through door number 4, and she would have gone with Ace, Clover, Santa, and Lotus. If we flip it, this path, June went through door 8. But if she went through door 7 and I went through door 8, I'm not going to do the math because I know that I went with Lotus and Clover, which means that June automatically would have gone with Santa. At that point, Ace stayed behind. Snake was quote unquote dead. And then this path, she went through it was door 6. Our options were door 6, door 2, and door 1, right? 1, 6, and 2. Oh, yeah, I don't think that's what I said, but that's what I meant. So if we went through door 1, then we went through with Ace and Clover. which would have left June, Santa. Instead of writing Santa, I wrote S, or instead of writing 3 for Santa, I wrote S. That's really helpful. 6, 3. We do the math. Huh. Oh, I forgot 7. Oh, wait. No, I put Ace in 2 places at once. Did they go through door 6? When we went through door 3. It was us, 6, 3, and 7, wasn't it? Oh my god, has Santa gone through a door with June every single... Because... What was the time that Clover sat out? That was when we went... Was that when we went through door 6? When we went through door 6, it was Ace, Santa, June, and us. Which left... 7... No, that was the time... That was that time. I swear there was one time where Clover went by herself somewhere. So when we went through... What about when we went through... Okay, wait, maybe it was door 2. When we went through door 2, it was 7, us, and Lotus, right? Which would leave... It was Clover, Ace, Santa, and June. Which would be... But -4 because Oh my god, I can't believe I never noticed that. Is that really it? Am I crazy or was all that work for nothing?
If the digital root is 7, then you can't open door 4. If the digital root is 2, then you can't open door 8.
Clover, do you notice anything interesting on that list?
What do you mean?
You're talking about 3, right?
3?
Santa's always in the room with her. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
What about it?
That's quite simple, really. You told me that the first time you came to this room, Santa was the first to refuse to leave June behind. Now, doesn't that beg the question why? Why would Santa do such a thing? The answer is easy, because Santa can't open door 9 with only 7 and Lotus. Of course, there's only one reason for that. His number isn't actually 3. Santa's real number, 7? Would you be so kind as to modify my sister's equations?
Yeah, sure.
7 took the pen from a confused Clover and began to adjust her calculations.
This is what you were getting at, right, Snake? You
know, that also works. Because what I was thinking, although I guess my plan wouldn't have really worked, because that would be under the assumption that we also still had a 3. Okay, no. So that doesn't work. So cool. That makes more sense than my theory. He read out the changes he'd made. When he finished, he looked at Snake. Snake smiled.
Thank you. That is exactly right, 7. Santa's true number wasn't 3. It was 0.
No way. Santa is 0?
And June was 9, not 6. Conversely, Santa was 0, not 3. +3 and -3, they cancel one another out. Nothing appears out of order.
Santa was still playing by the rules of the nonary game this whole time.
Precisely.
So you're saying Santa planned this whole thing?
I'm not sure if he acted alone or not, but I think it is safe to conclude that he is 0, if my hypothesis is correct.
Over bitter lips, she seemed to be having some difficulty believing her brother's explanation. Junpei. Junpei remained silent in thought.
Snake's hypothesis Something doesn't seem right. Jun's bracelet being flipped. Even if that were possible, that would mean there are 2 number 9 bracelets. And if that's the case...
All right, that's enough talking. Let's go. It's high time we went through that door.
Yeah, why would the first door have opened? That's the question, because that would have been, it was, who was it? I think it was Clover? I just wrote a C instead of a 4. Clover, Ace, and the 9th man, right? Which would be, oh no. Oh, yeah, which would be 1 plus 4 plus 9. So that would, if that, would that make his 6? And if so, it wouldn't work. They leapt through.
Oh, it's right there.
The dead was directly in front of them as they came through the door. Quickly, they scanned their bracelets. And the detonator stopped. After pausing for a moment to catch their collective breath, Junpei and his companions headed down the long hallway in front of them.
All right, let's keep going.
The end was a set of stairs leading down into the ship.
I think these stairs go to the bottom deck.
They leaned out and looked over the side.
Let's try.
Let's head down.
After deciding it was safe, they headed down the stairs. Before long, Junpei and his companions found themselves on the bottom deck. They turned left into another hallway, at the end of which they found another door. At the end, of course, there was a symbol engraved over the keyhole. It looked like the sort of harpoon one would use to hunt fish, the kind with 3 prongs. Snake traced the shape of it with his fingers.
This is the Neptune symbol. There must be a key around here somewhere.
Okay.
Neptune key. I only have the Uranus key card.
Clearly, it wasn't going to
It's
open
a
this door.
different planet. Plus, it's the wrong kind of key.
Let's turn around and go back for now.
Yeah.
After examining the door for a few more minutes, they gave up and headed back the way they'd come.
Hey, another door.
With a little more searching, they found a metal door.
And a card reader this time.
A symbol was engraved on the card
It's the
reader.
Uranus symbol.
This is the place.
He muttered to himself and slid the card through the reader. It beeped once and the light on it turned green. With a heavy metal groan, the door creaked open. Junpei, Clover, Snake, and Seven looked at one another, nodded, and stepped through. The room they found themselves in was full of books. The library!
It's totally full of books.
There's so many. I don't know where to look.
It looked remarkably like a library. Not the sort of library where large numbers of people came to read books, more like the sort of library that was simply a place to store books. He felt a little overwhelmed by the sheer number of books, but Junpei did his best to speak with authority.
All right, if we want to get through that door out there, we need the Neptune key. I say we split up and look for it.
Okay.
Very well.
Sure thing.
Good. Let's get started then. We don't have a lot of time. Hurry.
Okay. Yep, Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge, but we wouldn't know that this time. As he began to search for reasons he didn't fully understand, Junpei felt those particular words float through his mind. Oh, okay. Ha! Hi, Junpei. Seek a way out. Ooh. Whew, okay. The music library. Energy theory, huh? I don't even understand the damn title. Looks like the shelf's all science and technology. Okay. Tanrail is made of metal. There's a note on that table. Lights to the books! Huh? What does that mean? Interesting. Well, intelligence often hides itself in darkness. Have you ever thought about the pages of a book? Each page only sees what? Maybe 2 or 3 minutes of light before the reader is on to the next? They spend the rest of their lives locked in darkness, rather like myself. That's horrible. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining, not at all. I live in the darkness, yes. But that has gifted me with the ability to catch the truths others might miss. I can hear the voices hidden in the darkness, you might say. Okay. Note on top, it says lights to the books. Cool. Oh boy. Paleontology. This one's about fossils, right? Ammonites are pretty nasty looking. Ammonites? Ammonites? Paleontology. This one says transition of extinct species. We need to hurry it up or we're going to end up in the pages of a book like that. Guess the books on the shelf with transition of extinct species are all about living creatures. Microgaphnia, huh? Gaphia? Ah, yes, Robert Hooke's famous work, first published in 1665. He built a microscope and examined insects, inorganic substances, and other things just too small to be seen in detail by human eyes. He then drew pictures of many of the things he'd examined and published them in a book. I'd hazard a guess that this shelf is concerned with natural sciences. Why did mankind lose their tails? Junpei, do you know what this one's about? Why are you asking me? I didn't even know we had tails to lose. Maybe you should ask a human with a tail. Mankind's ancestors most likely lost their tails as they were no longer useful and the nutrients required to grow them were better put to use elsewhere. At least that's what I read. I was rather young. I may have remembered it incorrectly. Huh? Why the hell would a kid be reading a book like that? To learn things, I suppose. It's like, titles like Why Did Mankind Lose Their Tails? Okay. Creature of the South Seas, huh? Wonder if this one's got pictures of colorful fish and stuff. Introduction to Geology, huh? Thinking about the Earth, even when you're on the ocean. Kind of romantic in a way, I guess. Theories of the Cambrian explosion? Did a bomb go off somewhere called Cambria? Wrong kind of explosion. Roughly 500 million years ago, during what is known as the Cambrian period, research suggests that a variety of living organisms increased by an order of magnitude. Why that happens is, however, still something of a mystery. There are a number of theories. This book is most likely a collection of them. Okay. The theory of evolution. Heck, even I know this one. This is that Darwin guy, right? Well, yes and no. Charles Darwin wrote a book called On the Origin of the Species. In it, he put forth his theory of evolution. Yeah, I remember that part. He called it natural selection. Exactly. Okay. Mother Nature. Is that some sort of book about hippie chicks? Probably not. Except, perhaps, tangentially. It's most likely about environmental protection. I was just trying to make a joke. Dude, hippie chicks? Really? Okay. Cool. Can't click the ladder. Oh, good lord. Oh, there's so many books. Okay. This book is called Mind Swap. You mean you could, like, change bodies with someone? Well, I guess I wouldn't mind switching bodies with my brother or Junpei too much, but I'd rather die than let Seven switch with me. What the hell? Like, I'd even want to swap bodies with a little brat like... Hey, were you just imagining it? You were! Shut up! Yeah, well, he wasn't the only one. Sounds like a reality show. Yep. Kitab al-Atsif? Kitab al-Atsif? Atsif? Man, they got some weird stuff in here. I can't even pronounce this one. Who's that? Some famous guy? It's not a person's name. It's the name of a fictional book created by Abdul al-Hazred. Probably completely wrong. I apologize. It's said to be one of the sources used in the creation of the legendary Book of the Dead. The Necronomicon. I am bad at pronouncing things. The Necronomicon. Oh, so these are all occult books and stuff. Yes. Oh my gosh. Teleportation and telepathy. What the hell is this one about? Well, I know what telepathy is, but I've never heard of teleportation. It refers to having the ability to travel through time. Huh. This one says the gold rabbit and the moon on it. Does that mean it's about a rabbit that lives on the moon? Rabbits are pretty cute, but what's the moon stuff about? It's talking about the Judas tree that is said to grow on the moon, according to Chinese legend. Okay. Bookshelves full of books on science and technology, things like energy theory. Oh boy. Property values going up out in space these days? Man, guess times are tough for aliens too. This one says cosmic inflation. Super symmetric string theory and 10-dimensional space-time. They're just talking about the superstring theory. It's a theory of reality where, how to explain? It says all elements of the universe are governed by the vibrations and harmonics of tiny supersymmetric strings. Okay. All that's here is Faraday's law of electrolysis. I believe there's going to be about electrolysis in an electrolyte solution. These particular laws were set down by Michael Faraday. Faraday? I've never known how to pronounce that name even when it was K. Quantum gravity. Seven, do you have any idea what this is? How about you start by using real words, and maybe we'll get somewhere. Theory of general relativity, huh? Oh, I know this one! That's Einstein, right? Yes. Overview of conformal field theory. Ah, well, it's a theory that hoists an invariant quantum field where conformal transformation can take place. Knock it off with the science voodoo stuff. Try to put me to sleep? I'm lost, but that's okay. Okay. What's the deal with these titles? They're all just gibberish. Hey, what if we, like, switch them around? Switch them around? Yeah. If we move them around, maybe they'll spell something. Oh, I get it. Yeah, heck, it's worth a shot. Open. How about this? It's like putting this book in the right or opened this thing right up. That was a piece of cake. Hooray, you did it, Junpei! I guess that turned out well enough. So the letters from the title spell out, open here, find bulb. Oh, I just read open. Powerful light bulb. Light bulb looks like it's brand new, and it's really big, so it'll make a lot of light. Awesome. This will be pretty bright. Cool. Nothing in here anymore. All right. Oh my god. And there are so many books. Energy theory. Development of nanotechnology materials. Interactions between shortwave energy and matter. What else have we got? Just listening to you read those titles is giving me a headache. Can't say fancy technology stuff and I get along real well. Keep on talking about that stuff and you're gonna put me to sleep. Reasonably so. Okay, that's the open here, find bulb. Well, it's straightforward enough. I open this thing up, I get a light bulb. A kid's book here? Looks like it's a children's story about Native Americans. Don't you think a random book like that is kind of suspicious? Maybe you ought to hold on to it. Okay. This one has some Native Americans on the cover. Hey, Junpei, take a look at this one. Native Americans, huh? Maybe it's got some... Whoa! Lilk. What's that? This is one of them pop-up books? LRK? Doesn't mean anything, does it? We can make them KRL, like Curl or Carl. Look, this one says Cultural Heritage of Rome. But that's gonna be serious inheritance tax. Okay. History of Buddhism. Okay. History of the medieval period. Maybe it's about Sir Lancelot? Isn't he just a story? I don't think you're gonna find a guy who didn't really exist in a history book. What's Hellenism? I think it's something like a fusion of Greek and Oriental culture. Permian creatures? Seems a little fancy for some kind of prehistoric critter. Not to mention without hair, I can't imagine they had much need of perms. It's got nothing to do with this. Hi? Look at this. This book's called Greek Mythology. Damn, that thing's huge. Can't imagine anyone's actually read the whole thing. Pretty sure it just put me to sleep. There's some good stories in there. This one's called History of the Western World. Well, I'd assume it's about European history. Yeah, just gonna leave it at that. Snake, doesn't seem like you... Huh. History. Maybe this one's about China's 4,000 years of history or something? Chinese history and Oriental history aren't the same thing. Hi, okay. The black hole hypothesis. Gamma ray astrophysics. Guess this bookshelf has an astronomy theme. We looked at these. Okay. This one looks like just like that picture book from earlier, the one with the pop-ups. Think they're part of a series or something? Like they have some the same binding. Ooh, okay. There's a baseball on this one. Come on, Junpei, let's see what's in it. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's probably baseball stuff. Whoa! Head. This is a pop-up book. It's got the letters H-E-A-D popping out of it. Okay. Functions of the human brain, huh? Guess this is a book about the nervous system? I'd love to ask you to read it to me, but I don't think we have the time. I'm kind of curious about it too. There's gotta be a reason why people connect with each other, you know? Okay. Principles of monkey behavior, huh? I'd imagine that's a book describing praxeology studies on monkeys. Monkeys are very similar to humans evolutionary, so I imagine the research was fruitful. Alright. Oh, look, Seven, here's a book that's perfect for you. called correlation of muscle, bone density, and bone strength. You're just saying that because it says muscle. I was expecting that to be a lot meaner. This book is just called Dissection. This bookshelf must be all medical books. From what I can tell, it sounds as though these books have been organized by genre. This library must be massive. I'm rather impressed by how well organized it is. Okay. Human equilibrium theory. Human anatomy. Regeneration of internal organs. Ancient gladiators. What's this book doing here? Maybe they were researching human physical limits across history? Perhaps. This one's called Recreation of Lost Human Functions. Think they're talking about, like, if you lose part of your body, you could grow it back? I don't think so. Maybe they're talking about reconstructing abilities that humankind once possessed? In other words, they may be talking about cultivating a sixth sense. Huh. This big opening is the door to the library. It's pretty impressive. Almost looks like the door to a shrine or a church or something. There's another door after it, and then a passageway beyond that. The end of the passageway is the door with that Neptune symbol engraved on it. Hurry up, we need to find the key with the mark of Neptune. Okay! This sounds like a job for the best brother and sister team in the world! Man, it's like 7 and I don't even exist. Oh, let them have their moment. What's that one called? It says Foundations of DNA and Genetic Engineering. Automated robotic assembly line techniques, huh? What's that? Some sort of comic book? Jeez, I guess boys really like that stuff, huh? No, you're thinking of a different sort of robot. This book is talking about automated machinery that's used to build things like cars. Communication and computer science, huh? That's a pretty generic title. To be honest, it's so vague I don't really know what it might be about. An overview of photochemistry. I think whoever set this up wanted us to see the cover, not the spine. Let's look at it, okay? Okay. Oh! Looks like there's a whole lot of space behind these books. Look, Junpei! I think there's something hidden behind the books. Powerful light bulb. It's a brand new light bulb. Looks like a pretty high wattage one, too. Cool. Do you think we should hold hands where there aren't any handrails? I'll be fine. I can feel vibrations of the floor that tell me where I am. That's not what I meant. Okay. Don't shove! I'm not kidding! Don't push me! What the heck, man? I wasn't gonna, but now that you bring it up. Okay. Pythagorean theorem. This is a famous one. It sounds like there are a number of math books in this section. Algebraic number theory. Math, huh? There's another one like that over here. You mean something like primary number theory or analytical number theory or geometry? Oh my gosh, how did you know? Nobody said anything about those. Well, number theory is usually split into 4 chief disciplines. If there was a book named Algebraic Number Theory, I took a wild guess that the other 3 would be there as well. Looks like I was right. Nice. This one's Goldbach Conjecture. Conjecture? What's it about? Like magic or psychic stuff or something? Right, I bet it's about jewelry, isn't it? It may have an odd title, but it's actually a very respectable mathematics book. It deals with one of the unsolved problems of additive number theory. All of this is going way over my head. Sorry I said anything. Look, let's not get into this right now, okay? Okay. That's a weird book, Junpei. Indian mathematics. That's funny. Why is that funny? Yeah, that's not really funny. It says, Riemann hypothesis. What is there to hypothesize about Riemann? Pretty straightforward? Heavens no, there are many factors. What are we talking about? Length, growth, lubrication, or lack thereof. It's an excited and rapidly growing field. Whoa. What? Okay, I don't want to know. Oh. Dadkind? What the hell is this? Wasn't that a German mathematician? Maybe it's a compilation of his work. Owen, huh? Owen isn't enough to go on. Perhaps it's about the English Revolutionary? Liebernus? This book is in German. It looks like it's the complete works of something. I've never heard of it. Well, Snake doesn't know what it is. I don't think we'll ever know. Sheldrake? Sheldrake. Isn't Sheldrake... I don't know. What's this? Origin of Japanese folklore? There's a bunch of books about Japanese culture in here. Mostly ones about folklore, though. Oh, folklore can cover a wide range of subjects. History, urban life, religious trends, environmental changes, oral traditions. Folklore can cover all those things if you know where to look. This looks pretty deep. Modern Japanese literature, huh? Okay. Hey, there's another one of those picture books here. Something about those things feels kind of nice, you know? Brings back good memories. I guess even people like Seven were kids once. No shit, you little brat! Hey guys, cool it. Alright, I think I'm gonna take this picture book with me, okay. Tales of Old Japan. It's got a magic wand on it, okay. So, what's inside? Well, aren't you going to open it? Pretty sure it's just gonna have pages inside smart. Whoa! Okay. Cool, so these seem like they match up the numbers on the other book. This book has an S, an E, and a number 5 sticking out of it. I might be impressed if... Okay. Agriculture and historical organizations in folklore. Cool. Let's see what we've got here. So many books, I wonder where... I wonder what this one's... Whoa! What's this? Warm?
Oh, so sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Hey, what's the deal with the sappy stuff? I don't know. Oh, okay. There's a couple books in the glass shelf. From left to right, they say Volume 6, Volume 3, Volume 2, Volume 4, Volume 1, and Volume 5. This bookshelf is sort of a glass inlay. It's pretty big. There's only 6 books in it. That seems kind of weird.
Hey, looks like there's something on the bottom. I can't really see it though. The glass is all foggy.
Yep, won't budge. Okay, cool. Kind of where you rotate the numbers around until you got the right ones to open it. What the hell is this? It's like they just gave us the answer. So might as well give it a shot. Okay. Something suspicious about the shelf on the left. Okay, iron plate is bolted down. Dim lights on the floor. Music stands. How about we try putting the picture books on these stands, then? Cool.
This is a little weird.
There are 3 lights in this thing. They aren't very bright, though. Didn't we find some kind of really powerful light bulb earlier? I was gonna say, can we replace it? Why don't you put it into one of those lights?
Yeah, well, it'll get a lot brighter, but...
But if there are 3 lights, that means 3 light bulbs. There won't be much point unless we can replace all 3 bulbs. Okay. So do we want to do... It's 6, 3, 2, 4, 1, 5. 6, 3, 2, 4, 1, 5. 6, 3, 2, 4, 1, 5. 6... What? 6... 3... 2... 4... 1... 5.
You did it, Junpei! Yay!
I don't know why, but I don't feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever, at least the lock's open now. See if we can get it open, alright? Okay. Oh, there's the last light. Okay, cool. It's like a light bulb. Yep. Okay, put the pop-up books on top of the stands. Let's see, 3 lights in here. I'm gonna change the bulbs. Now they should. Ah!
Awesome! It worked!
Way to go, Junpei! Good job, buddy!
There's something projecting on the bottom.
These letters, they seem familiar. Yeah.
Sheldrake 5?
Yup. Junpei read the text out
I
loud.
think I saw the rest of this collection somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
7 and Clover walked off, leaving Junpei and Snake behind.
Sheldrake.
Have you heard of him?
Mm-mm.
Sheldrake, I mean.
I have not. Junpei grinned.
Ah, Lotus told me about him.
We did?
There's a British
Oh!
biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory.
I forgot about that.
Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
Really? From Lotus, huh?
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
She did?
Yeah, what was it?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
Yes.
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
You did? Why?
Well,
Junpei's eyes
Look,
narrowed.
man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
tell you what?
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Snake's shoulders slumped and he shook his head slowly. He'd finally given
Very
up.
well, fine. I'll tell you everything.
Will you now? I'm ready. I want my lower dump.
But not here. Let's move to the top floor.
Okay. Junpei nodded. With that, they climbed the stairs to the top floor. Snake was silent for a moment after they arrived, then finally crossed his arms and spoke.
I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well. To be honest, the explanation is quite simple. Zero told me not to. I had little choice. He didn't walk up and tell me, of course.
Did you get another
He
paper?
gave me a message engraved on a card.
Snake reached into his sleeve and pulled out a small, stiff piece of paper.
That's a Braille card. It looks just like the one you showed us earlier. So you had 2 cards.
No, only one.
Huh? What do you mean? I thought that card just had some rules for the nonary game on it.
Yes, it did, and those were the rules I read you. However, they were not the only thing on the card. There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say, there was something I couldn't read.
And that was?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator. It's a threat on our lives.
Oh. Well,
Snake
well,
nodded.
what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers?
Yeah.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone. Still, apparently she told you. That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me. I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff. She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
Snake glanced down at Clover and Seven, examining one of the bookshelves.
That's very true. I've decided I can trust you. I've decided to tell you the truth.
I know he can sense where people are, but the fact that he glanced down is really funny to me.
The chance that Santa is Zero is very high. I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment. And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us.
Why?
Clover told me about the 4-leaf clover, about the words. If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it. He wouldn't kill us, no matter what the situation was.
Snake paused and cocked his head as though he was listening to something very far away. His face looked dark as though something was weighing on him.
Hey, Snake?
Junpei wasn't quite sure what to say. Snake turned and looked at him.
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment?
Please?
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Clover told me about...
I see. The morphogenetic field in the experiments 9 years prior. How the experiments had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada. And the girl that died during the experiment.
Yes. Hello, helicopter.
She told you all that, did she?
Snake looked down. His face was tight. A slight tremor shook his body and he tried to hide it. He was putting on a good front, but even Junpei could tell that he was holding back something deep and powerful. He made as if to brush something from his face and looked up at Junpei.
At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to determine
is who did this and why, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes.
Snake nodded slowly.
The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
There were 4 of them running the show. Gentaro Hongo, Nagisa Nijisaki, Teruaki Kubota, Kagechika Musashido. Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share of the planning.
Is this... Okay. This looks like Guy X. This looks like it could be, the 9th man. I don't know about this one.
Kubota led the company's research and development division.
Yeah, that's gotta be the 9th man.
Musashido was their majority stockholder. It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment. Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
Okay.
Huh, so it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido...
Junpei couldn't shake the sense that he'd heard those 4 names somewhere
Of
before.
course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale.
It also concerns me that Ace is with Santa and June, and he specifically looked... Santa specifically looked around and picked Ace and Lotus to go with him. I wonder why.
To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonary Project. The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field.
Okay.
Huh.
Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation? Experiments with humans produced the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen?
Does that have to have something to do with how we know the answers to some of these puzzles?
The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye. And through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that answer.
Good lord.
That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic field.
But that's just a theory.
Can't bring yourself to believe it?
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it. Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murder. They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial.
Okay.
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field.
That's right.
Snake
But I
nodded.
still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstand.
I get it. I understand the example. Like, it does help. I just think it's really funny to picture.
Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event. All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen? If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well. Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do?
Come on, there's no way.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then? A person who has the power to write to the field, and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
Junpei thought about it for a moment.
So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. Close enough, at least.
Come on, that's just crazy.
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first. At least, that was how they thought. That was why they decided to do their experiment. That was how the Nonary Project began.
Snake suddenly looked very serious.
By the way, Junpei, have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment?
Yes. Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act
Yeah,
calm.
that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary Project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered. They were kidnapped.
His face barely moved as he spoke.
There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total.
I thought it was 16.
For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, Each pair had one transmitter and one receiver. They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9.
I could have sworn, because I remember, yeah, 16 children. Aoi, Light, and Nona. Yeah, okay. Huh. Because I remember specifically thinking that it didn't have anything to do with 9.
The children who were put into Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert. The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic.
Okay.
From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is epiphany. The other is danger. Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind?
The thought of kids going through this makes me genuinely sick.
It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger. He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the nonary game as the ship sunk. By forcing the children into a life-or-death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields. The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly. Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown. Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely? It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in. By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with.
Yes.
Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the Gigantic in Building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of epiphany to solve the puzzles they found and transmit what they learned through the fields. The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is the simplest explanation I can manage.
Snake sounded defeated. His half-hearted attempt at Dersian served only to show how much the story had affected him. Just Junpei was about to speak.
Hey, Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses? Get down here already!
Seven's voice echoed up from below. Snake took a deep breath and blinked rapidly as if just waking up from a long nap.
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here and soon.
Thank you for telling us. Snake headed for the stairs, but Junpei put out an arm to stop him.
There's one more thing I want to ask you.
Can we know the girl's name?
Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Oh, yes. That was what they said on the news, wasn't it? Yes. I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment. After all, you couldn't exactly play a nonary game with any less, could you?
Well, yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing.
Santa.
They were brother and sister, like Clover and I. The brother's name was Aoi. The sister's name was... Her name was...
Please. Snake couldn't bring himself to continue, which is what he was about to say brought him great pain.
Her name was Akane.
has to be! It has to be!
That was the girl who died.
Oh my god. Junpei felt as if he had been punched in the stomach. His vision went blurry and his head felt light.
Akane Kurashiki died?
You don't, I mean, to be fair. Junpei, it could be a different Akane. Oh, shoot. I only have 3 minutes left on my recording. Hang on. That would have been bad. Anyways, it could be a different Akane. But it's not. The question I have now is, did she die or not?
9 years ago? Then, who is June? No. That's impossible. It can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name. If Snake had known her last name, that's a different matter entirely. So they share a name. A lot of other people do too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else. Of course it was. It has to be.
Junpei shook his head hard and pulled himself back to reality.
Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange.
Then Snake had noticed. Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act calm.
No, it's nothing. I'm fine. Let's get back down there, all right?
Snake raised an eyebrow but said nothing. He headed down the stairs, Junpei bringing up the rear.
I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out.
With every step he took, the cold, hard sound of feet against metal dug at his heart. Oh my god, what do you want? Okay. Oh my god. What are we doing? Sheldrick, this is it. This is what the shadow picture was pointing to. But didn't it say 5 at the end of the shadow picture? Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume. Would you look at that? There's a big red button behind this book. Guess we should press this button. Oh my! What was that sound? It sounded like something really big was moving. It came from the top floor. Alright, let's go check it out. I've already pressed that. I don't think I need to do it again, do I? No, probably not. Okay, I don't have time to sit around rubbing an iron plate. I need to get to the top floor pronto. Why am I shaking this cupboard? I don't have time for this. I need to get to the top floor now. The bookshelf hasn't changed. This bookshelf hasn't changed. Bookshelf is moving. Okay. There's a keyboard in front of the numbers, and there are some, I didn't read it. Numerals. Roman numerals. Do you think we just need to put in the numbers from the wall on the keyboard? No, you can't. Keyboard doesn't have any number keys. Can't type in stuff like 3 or 4. Then that means... It's like an output monitor. But the letters you type will show up here. Well, I bet you gotta type in something. You can only type in letters, and it looks like you can only enter 4 letters. Let's see how it works. I guess you can hit enter once you type in the letters. Okay. Just don't get this. What the hell's the point of these? What is Snake doing? These are Roman numerals. You get them to 13, 14, 10, and 13. Yeah. So it would be D. O. Oh no. D-E-A-D. It spells dead. True, but this keyboard only has letters. We can only enter 4. Yeah, numbers of letters. Yay! You did it, Junpei! It's unlocked now! Good job, Junpei. Whoa there, don't get too excited. The password was dead, remember? This makes you think whatever's waiting for us isn't good. So what? Jeez, you're such an old lady. We can't be worrying about stuff like that. I mean, come on, we got it to unlock, didn't we? Let's go, hurry up! Thick metal doors, handle in the middle of it. Darn it. I censored him. Damn it, I can't get it open. This thing won't even budge. Why not? Put in the password, what else do we have to do? And that means... It's the other door. Alright, let's get this thing open. Okay. Oh my god, I just had a thought. I was taking a slight pause just to mentally reset. Light is one of the names, and Snake had a weird reaction to something with light. I wonder if that's relevant to something. Wait, what was the context of Aoi, Light, and Nona? I already forgot. Seven said 3 of their names were Aoi, Light, and Nona. The kids who were in the experiment. Okay, Aoi, Light, Nona. I think Nona was one of Lotus's daughters, right? Okay, anyways, back to the actually playing the game. The door opened, and Junpei and the others leapt through it.
All right, this is the next.
Just Seven was about to finish his sentence. Their attention was drawn to clang of metal on metal ringing out behind them.
Ugh, the door!
Okay. They spun around. The door they'd just come through had slammed
Did that
shut.
just close on its own?
Don't tell me we can't go back.
I don't know. Let's see.
Junpei grabbed hold of it with both hands and pulled with all his strength.
Damn it. It looks like it locks automatically.
Is there any other way out?
Well, there's another door over on the right. There's a card reader next to it. It's got a red light on it, though, so I'm pretty sure it's locked, too.
But there is a card reader, right?
Yeah.
Then perhaps if we find a key card, we could open the door and leave?
Perhaps. What the heck is all this?
Well, yeah, that might work, but...
Hey! Wait a minute. Are you saying we're gonna have to search through this room for one little card?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It took a second to look at the room they'd found themselves in. Yeah. It's filled with piles upon piles of all manner of things. The only word that could describe it was chaotic. It's like a tornado had passed through, followed by a giant who picked it up who had picked it up and shaken the entire room a few times.
Looks that way.
Junpei's heart fell.
No way!
For real?
Clover and Seven looked as though they were about to cry.
Well, we can sit down and wait to die, if that's what you prefer.
No.
I rather doubt that, however. So it would be wise to start looking. We haven't much time. Let's find that key card. Oh, and the Neptune key as well. We won't be able to get through the hallway without it. All right then, let's begin.
Okay. Ooh, investigation time. And Junpei's gone. Lame. Alright. There are piles of crap everywhere. Man, this place is a mess. It's so messy, I don't know where to start. Some of this crap looks familiar. I think a lot of these are parts of puzzles we solved in other rooms. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If that's true, then this room could be Zero's laboratory. Perhaps Zero would shut himself in this room to devise the machines and puzzles he'd need to see his plan come to fruition. Okay. Just a pile of junk. There's nothing useful here. Okay, thanks. Hey, Junpei, isn't this a nautical table? I feel like I've seen this before. Cool. We saw it in door 1. Oh, excuse me. A light that's attached to the drafting table. It's got this little metal arm that holds it up. Looks like it's been used quite a bit. Cool, 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 cool. I think these fans are for ventilation. They're probably there to circulate air. Gosh, this desk is really big and it feels really sturdy. Yeah, it does seem pretty heavy duty. I suppose it belongs to whoever uses this room, wouldn't you say? Probably. Okay. There's some old computer monitors on this desk. You don't see CRT monitors that much anymore. See their screens from here. Cool. Is there anything else? A pipe. Great. I love that Junpei is just over. Whoa, hi. Look, Junpei, the rest on here looks like Elvis's face. Yeah. How exciting. Great. Okay. Okay, seriously, where the hell is it? I can't see it. Really? See, there's the nose right there, and that's the hair? Yeah, sure. There's nothing there. Okay, okay. All right. What is this? Okay. The screen is huge. Wonder why it's blue. Maybe if I touch it. Oh, good lord. There's something on the screen now. What's this? There are 15 cells here with numbers and letters in them. Let me see that. Ah, I see. So whenever you touch a cell, the ones next to it turn on or off. You gotta use that to make all the cells on the right at the bottom green. Hey, Junpei, I found this piece of paper under that thing. You want to take a look at it? You think this might have something to do with the puzzle? This piece of paper Clover gave me. There are a bunch of numbers and letters connected by equal signs on it. Okay. Thanks, Clover. This really helps. Cute. All right, let's go back and try again. Cell's all green. Okay. When do they turn green? Okay. 9 plus C. 9 plus 12. What is 9 plus 12? 21? Oh, that's nice. Okay. Okay, so we need A to be 10. Okay. It's a lot harder than I expected. Well, according to the chart Clover gave me, I just need to plug in a number for each letter. Yeah, I know. Right, I touch any of the 9 cells that aren't the all cells. When I touch a cell, the cell I touch and the ones next to it change. Uh-huh. I understand the concept, I just am bad at it. So this square needs to be blank, and this square needs to be blank. I think. Okay. There we go! You did it, Jumpy! You're not June, where did that come from? You did it, Junpei, you're so smart! You seem to have done an excellent job and solved the puzzle. Just what would I have expected of you? Just what I would have expected of you, Junpei. Hey, come on, you're embarrassing me. Whoa, 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 don't get cocky, kid. We don't got time for that. Look at this, check out the right edge of the control panel. The lid slid open and something came out. A cross emblem. Metal plate shaped like a shield. There's a cross engraved on it. Okay. Cool. Fans must be for ventilation. I can see walls on the other side of them. There are metal bars in front of the fan openings. I don't think we can get out that way. Right? Oh, good lord. Junpei, it looks like there's a compass on there. Now I get it. What do you mean? I guess you weren't there, Clover, but I solved a puzzle like this one in the wheelhouse. I think I just need to do the same thing here. The same thing? The important part is this nautical table we just found. I just have to match up the directions on the compass with the lines on the... I forgot how to say it. Nautical table. I've used the steering wheel in the wheelhouse, but this time I think I'm going to use the wheel attached to the side here. Okay then, show me now! Of course. Maybe I ought to run through the instructions. Cool, if I just touch the direction I wanted to go, the compass will turn in that direction. Cool, 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 cool. Betting something will happen if I can do it right. Do I still have it written down? I do. Only issue is it doesn't make... It's gibberish. Or is this a different puzzle? Wait. This might be a completely different one, and I might be stupid. Okay. No. Straight. What? South? West? Oh, that's southeast. What? South, west, southeast, northeast, east, north, east. Let's try that. South, west, southeast, northeast, east, north, east. Okay. I think I was reading the old map. Sorry. Yay, you did it, Junpei! Good boy. Who's a good boy? Ah, knock it off. Hey, we don't have time for screwing around right now. Check out the right side of the monitor. It kind of slid open and something came out. Oh, yeah. I heard a noise, too. You know that big box in the hallway by the exit? I think it made a noise. Like something unlocking, you know? A noise, huh? Okay. Helm emblem. There's a symbol on it. It looks like a steering wheel engraved. What? I don't think I read that right. Sorry. It's the exit. We gotta get it open as fast as we can. There's some monitors hanging down from the ceiling. What? Clover, can you hang up the— No way! Why should I have to do something like that? Oh, I get it. You're gonna try and sneak a peek inside my underwear, aren't you? That's impossible. How could I see inside them? What? You pervert! You're a dirty old man! Whoa, hey, lay off, all right? I'm not an old man. You should be saying you're not dirty. Good lord. Oh boy. Whoa, well now I've got something on the screen. Huh? What is this? Wait a minute. I saw something like this when I figured out that Morse code puzzle back in the communications office. Morse code? Yeah. The dots on here look like dits for Morse code. There's 2 dots on the first line, 4 on the second, and 1 on the last. I'm afraid I don't understand. Perhaps you should give it a shot anyway? Alright, I'll try. Before I do that though, run through the instructions. Yep. Let's do this. Huh? Okay. Metal shutter looks pretty sturdy. It's framed with the black and yellow warning stripes. All right, let's open it. Oh, holy shit. That is pretty damn creepy. There's a coffin in there. Coffin, a coffin. Oh man, does Seven think? Yeah, he's all pale. He's thinking the same thing I am. No way. Could this be? I'm sorry, but what's going on?
It's a coffin! I wonder if there's a vampire in it.
I guess Clover and Snake don't know the story. I can't bring myself to tell them. Well, at any rate, let's have a look around. Black on the coffin, Snake's touching it. All ice. Ah, the 2 machines. Holy shit. Man, this is serious. Well, let's open it, shall we? Clover, if you could give me a hand.
Okay, I got it.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ha! Oh, look, it doesn't seem to be ready to open.
Yeah, but it's not like it's screwed shut or something.
Yes, I believe it's locked in some other way.
Hey, Seven, you think you could open it with your superhuman strength?
No,
What's wrong?
I think I'll just pass on this one, okay?
What the heck?
Very well, we'll just have to give up on the coffin for now. Let's go around the room a little more, shall we? Oops. Ah, sorry, I did not mean to click through it. Is that actually true? Okay. Power's on, but there's nothing on any of the screens. The keyboard. Have a few keys, even wait this up. Damn, no dice. Alright. Oh, cool, okay. Well, now we've got something on the monitors, at least. What's that? It's like some kind of puzzle.
I wonder if these are the rules. Here, I'll read them to you. When you touch a numbered area, that area will be selected, and it will turn blue to indicate this. Touching a numbered ball after selecting an area will cause that ball to be moved to that area. However, you cannot move the red balls. You can only move 3 to 5 balls in a single area. Press the check button once you've moved all the balls except the red ones, which you cannot move. Digital order of the balls in the area must match the number for that area. That's it.
I still don't really get it. Whatever, like they say, practice makes perfect. Give it a shot. Don't you mean practice makes perfect? Hey, let's see you solve the next one. Then you can make fun of me. Oh, okay. I feel like this is testing me on every single, like, bit of knowledge I've gained throughout the entire series. Cool. Okay, this is it, right?
But nothing's happening.
There are still 3 more indentations left empty. I imagine something will happen when they're all filled. Doesn't that seem likely? Probably. See if we can put this one in. Yep. Junpei, someone just showed up on the screen.
This puzzle sure looks a lot like the last one.
Yeah, but there's more of those red balls you can't move.
Numbers for each area are different too.
I'm sorry, I think I'm sitting really far forwards. Looks like it's got the same rules as the last one, though. Sure you don't want to double check that? No, I'll be fine. If I get confused, I can look at the screen over there, right? Like they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Let's give it a shot. Isn't that a picture's worth 1,000 words? Hey, shut it! At least I'm trying, alright? Okay. So we'll probably need to make 19? Cool. That's awesome, Junpei! There's only 2 left now. You can do it! It's so small. I wonder what it is. I got no idea. Okay. A pipe. It's running into this box over here. Okay. That's a pipe. There's a cabinet underneath it. Oh, cool. There's nothing in it. Ah, here we go. Sorry. Junpei, we don't need this anymore, do we? No, I don't think so. Oh, for a puzzle we already solved. Okay. Great. I'm so glad we have that. Oh. That would have been helpful. Oh, there's a mannequin on the floor. Oh, here we go. There's something written on these pieces of paper. Looks like we got 3 sheets of stuff. Okay. Morse code is letters for A. As Morse code for letters A to I. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Pipe. A pipe. Pipe. Ventilation fans. Give me a P. Give me an I. Give me a P and an E. Why do you look so serious? What's that spell? Pipe. What the hell are we doing? Should we try and spell pipe? I don't think that. Oh my god, I haven't been over here. Okay. Piles of crap everywhere. This is a pretty impressive mess. If we try and search every one of these, we're gonna be at it till the cows come home. Well, that doesn't seem too bad. We won't have to go bring them in ourselves then. Don't you get smart with me, kid. How about we deal with this area later, okay guys? Maybe we should try something more promising. Okay. Card readers is lock. Cool, okay. Each screen showing a room on the ship. Alright. The pipe. The rest makes it feel rough. Yeah, this is just this. That's the door we came through. It's locked. Don't see anything around. Looks like it'll unlock it. We probably shouldn't waste our time trying, you know? Okay. Have you figured out what you're supposed to enter here, Junpei? Looks like the word's supposed to go here has 3 letters. It's got 3 lines, and I think each line is 1 letter. I see. Well, if that's the case, then perhaps the letters you need are made up of 2 symbols, 4 symbols, and 1 symbol, respectively. Girl, isn't that what you just said? One line has 2 spaces, the next 4, and the last only a single space. Okay. So it could be, so the first one has 2, then 4, and then 1. So 2, 4, 1. Yes. Okay. Leave me alone. Ah, okay. Nice. It does. So the first one could be A, I. Ah, shoot. A-L-L. It would be all correct. It wouldn't be all though, would it? Because the second letters aren't the same. A-I-M. Oh, wait. I. C. What's E? Aha! It's ice. So I. 1, 2. C. 1, 2, 3, 4. E is 1. Yeah! I see. It seems you have solved. The answer was ice. How did you know? All I had to do was listen to the sounds the machine made. After that, it was a trivial matter to decode them. Ah, yes. I believe I heard a noise from somewhere on the right of the device after you solved the puzzle. It sounded rather like something sliding open. See anything that could have made that noise? Yeah, that's true. Ah, yes, one more thing. I heard a sound from behind the shutter. Perhaps the coffin is unlocked now? What? Okay, there's the code emblem. Alright, fine, I'll open it. Okay, Junpei, you can do this. It's just a box. It's just a box. Holy shit, this is a coffin. There's going to be something horrible in there. I just know it. Okay, okay, deep breaths. Here we go. Yeah, I figured. Oh man, there's nobody in there. Shit, I can't believe I was scared of something like that. What do you mean, nobody? Were you expecting someone to be in there? It's a long story. Ask Junpei about it sometime. It's just like Seven said, there's nobody in there. There's something though. Well, two somethings actually. What is that? Ah! Looks like we gotta play with an emblem on it and... The Neptune key! Yes, we finally found it! Now we can get through the hallway! It's correct, Clover, but we do need to get out of this clover first, you know. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's get the hell out of here as quickly as possible. I don't have any objections to that. Okay, cool. All right, let's put the things in the thing. I don't remember where the thing is. I've been doing puzzles for so long, my brain has fried. There we go. Oh, whoops. See how the symbols are engraved in each of the indentations? They got numbers in there too. Yeah, okay. Puzzle looks a lot like the last one. Looks like the rules are the same though. Yeah, blah. This is the third time it'll be fine. If you think of anything clever, please don't strain yourself. You might hurt something. Ah, shut up! Give me a break, alright? Think of something. Okay, 7. So we need 7 maybe? I wonder if we can get just 7. No. Okay. So just 7 isn't a possibility. Because, yeah, no. So it has to be 16. 7, 6 would be 13. Okay, so 7 and 6 don't work. 7 plus 5 is 7, 12. Plus 4. There we go. Excellent work, Junpei. You've only got one left. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Awesome. Let's get our item. Pop that in. This is the 4th one. This puzzle looks a lot like the last couple. I think this is probably the last one. Once we solve this puzzle, I'm sure something will happen. All right, I'll solve it in no time. All right, let's see. So 8 and 9. So it would be 17 and 18. But no, we could do... No, we can't. Damn, I just don't get this at all. The rules are displayed on the screen. Okay. Click the mouse. Squeak, squeak. I knew that was coming. Do you think this is a laboratory mouse? That's the worst joke I've ever heard. Okay. Didn't know, mess around, didn't know you were into that kind of thing. You have better luck if you got to know it first, Junpei. You guys are jerks and it's still not working. Okay. But there's not enough numbers. Do I have to open both doors? No. I didn't look to see what number that was. I thought I tried that already. Guess not. Where did that noise come from? Underneath the keyboard? Way to go, Junpei! You answered all the questions! Damn, Junpei, good job! Did you guys hear something just now? Yes, I heard that as well. Sorry, I clicked too fast. From the bottom left corner of the desk, I believe. Oh boy.
A picture.
In the drawer was a single picture. I picked it up. It was a photograph of 4 men.
What the?
Yeah. Involuntarily, Junpei's eyebrows shot up. He'd seen 3 of them before.
What the hell is this?
This man with a mustache on the right. He's the same guy we found murdered in the captain's quarters.
Dedoy.
He had the Zero bracelet on his left arm. And this second man, with the glasses and a doctor's coat. He's the 9th man. The one with bracelet number 9. He died after he went into door 5. But this guy, the one in the striped suit.
Oh man, that's Ace.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
Seven and Clover come to peer over Junpei's shoulders.
But what does it mean? What is Ace doing in this picture?
It means he's a terrible person and he should die.
Not only Ace, the 9th man and Cap too.
As Junpei looked closer, he noticed the expression on each man's face. The smile suggested they were close, at least to some degree.
And they look happy, like they knew each other well. Why? How? How in the world are these 4 men connected?
Snake's voice broke into Junpei's thoughts.
You say Ace is in that picture?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it was taken recently, though. Ace, the 9th man, and Cap all look about 10 years younger.
Ah, so the 9th man and the man you found murdered in the captain's quarters are also in the picture?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? Or are there only 3 people in the picture? I'm afraid I can't see it.
No, there's one more guy. He's got kinda long hair, he looks smart, but a little cold. He's the only one I don't recognize.
Snake knit his eyebrows.
What's the date of the photograph?
It doesn't have one.
Did you look on the back?
The back?
Yes, the reverse. The other side.
Junpei flipped the picture over.
Huh.
There it was. To be precise, it wasn't a date, but it was certainly significant, praying for the success of the Nonori project. With Nijisaki, Kubota, and Musashido. He read it out loud so Snake would not be left in the dark.
Praying for the success of the Nonori project with Nijisaki, Kubota, and Musashido.
Nonori project, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido. Junpei immediately flipped the picture back over.
Then the 4 men in this picture were the organizers of the Nonori game 9 years ago.
Yep. Since Hongo wasn't mentioned, Junpei figured it could only mean he'd written the words on the back
That means
himself.
Ace, the 9th man, and Cap were all responsible for making it happen.
Yep.
But I feel like I should be more shocked about this. It's almost as if that's just how things were always supposed to be.
That their true identities did not come as a surprise, what Junpei found most surprising.
Why am I not surprised?
Because you already knew.
Ace was the one in charge of the Nonori project. But why? Why am I so calm? It's like I already knew.
Ah, of course.
Yikes.
I understand now.
Junpei looked over at Snake. In his own confusion, he had missed the dark look on the other man's
Ace
face.
was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. He was the one who invented the game 9 years ago. He was Gentaro Hongo.
Ace is Hongo?
Even as he asked, Junpei felt as though he'd already known. Almost as if someone had whispered into his head that, yes, of course, Ace was Hongo.
I had my suspicions from the beginning. Their voices were similar. Too similar to be a coincidence. I could never forget his voice. It was the voice of the devil. I couldn't be sure, though. After all, I had no way to check. I certainly couldn't ask him. Even if I had known, however, I would never have told you. Zero made it quite clear what would have happened if I did.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Huh?
I didn't know that Ace was Hongo.
Oh, yes. I suppose you wouldn't have. 9 years ago. You were in Building Q in Nevada, but Hongo was in the Gigantic with us.
I know. That's why I didn't know what Hongo looked like. But why? Why didn't you tell me? I mean, I'm your sister, right? You could have told me.
I'm sorry. I apologize for keeping this from you. But if I'd told you, Clover, you would have told everyone else. And if you did, then I would have been forced to tell them about what happened 9 years ago. I had to prevent that.
Clover and Snake's conversation wasn't of particular interest to Junpei. He still couldn't make sense out of his strange feelings of knowledge. He was trying to organize his thoughts when he heard Seven's voice.
Hey, Junpei. You think I could borrow that picture for a sec?
Sure.
Sure.
He had no reason to say no, so Junpei handed the picture over. Seven stared at the picture and began to mutter the 4 names of the project's leaders over and over to himself.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido.
His brow was furrowed and his face was flushed.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido.
He chanted their names to himself, pacing back and forth across the floor.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido.
Seven shouldn't have known their names. After all, he hadn't been there when Junpei and Snake had spoken of them in the library. But as Junpei watched him pace, it was clear he did know them.
Seven, do you...
Shut it! Just be quiet.
His eyes were red and Junpei could see sweat beginning to bead on his forehead.
I'm this close to remembering. This close.
He was sweating heavily now, but his lips were dry.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashiro, Cradle Pharmaceuticals, Nonary Project.
Then he stopped. Seven set down the picture and looked at the red light near his feet. His eyes narrowed. Then suddenly his eyes went wide and he shot up straight.
Shit.
What?
What's wrong?
Holy shit, this is nuts.
What's nuts?
I remember
Remember what?
everything.
Everything?
Yeah, I remember all of it. My memory's back. I remember what happened before I got snatched.
Seven's voice was filled with excitement.
What?
Shock and excitement had frozen Junpei in place along with Snake and Clover.
Let me tell you what happened.
Seven hastily drew a shaking hand across his mouth and began to speak.
Like Snake said, Ace is Hongo from the right. The other three are Musashido, Nijisaki, and Kubota.
Yes.
Musashido was the man with the cash. Nijisaki was Hongo's right-hand man. And Kubota developed the actual technical details of the experiments.
Realization began to dawn on Junpei along with the pressing question.
How do you know all this?
Come on, man, I told you, I finally got my memory back.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm trying to ask you why you knew all this stuff in the first place, before you forgot it.
Okay, I'm going to do something absolutely horrendous to myself and to you guys. I know there is still a decent chunk to go, and there's no way I'm going to be able to finish it today. I've been recording for over 3 hours. I'm really hungry, and I feel like if I just keep pushing through, then I'm going to be just so distracted by the fact that I'm hungry that I'm not going to be able to fully enjoy it. So, what I will do, and I will make this deal to you as best as I can uphold it. I will edit this to you. I will get it to you as soon as I can, and I will record the next episode as soon as I can. So you should get 2 episodes, not necessarily this week, but within the next week and a half. And we will finish this. Little bit of a cliffhanger, lots of things for me to process. I will be back to you as soon as I finish editing this video. I will upload it to my computer, my laptop. I will get started editing it right away. I will edit it tomorrow morning. You will get this video as soon as I can possibly get it to you, okay? And after that, I will immediately record the next one and we will get back in and we will finish this out. So yeah, I apologize if that was a really, really poor place to cut it. It probably is. I have so many things to process. If you'd like to talk to me about this game or any of the other games, feel free to join the Discord link in the description of this video or the About page of my channel. I think I might be right. I will talk about my theories. I will write them down. I will give them to you at the beginning of the next episode and we'll finish it out. So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you very, 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 very soon. Bye!